All right, TNTM the show presents Comicast 357 with the host
Pablo Gunner.
And I'm JD, and this is take two. I mean, if you tried to join us earlier, sorry, we had technical difficulties due to weather, whatnot. So, welcome back.
Weather and in crap internet. So don't get CenturyLink. I'm putting that out there right now.
Ooh.
I'm switching as soon as I can.
An anti-plug.
So yes. Which, speaking of plugs, we are sponsored by Age of Comics, Twin Sons Comics and Games, which will be the sponsor for this week, which we'll do a commercial break for them about halfway through.
And of course, Gamers Anonymous.
And of course, Gamers Anonymous. Yes, they actually have Mega Man 11 in right now. So go get it if you want it. They have it at their store. I'm tempted to go right now. So yeah, and we are here to review comics.
Yeah, we're going to review the comics for the week of September the 26th, 2018. We have our grading scale of buy, skim, pass. Variations on buy and skim. Strong buy, weak buy, strong skim, weak skim. Of course, pass is pass where Pablo throws it at that Dragon Ball poster behind him. And then, of course, we have contenders for the runner-up and the best book of the week, the B-Bow. Pablo's going to throw on a little timer here in a few minutes, and we're going to just kind of just blow through this stuff as quick as possible because, well, I mean, they're comics. We like to talk about them. Oh, spoiler alert. Spoilers.
Yes, spoiler alert. Is that it? I think that's it, right?
I think it's it, yeah.
All right, let's just jump into this, okay? All right, starting with Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing and Human Torch, number 10 again. Zdarsky, Perez, Blee. And this one, I love this book because it works really well in conjunction with the Fantastic by Dan Slott.
I'll agree with that.
And it does that because what happens is they get their powers back, and you think, I thought it was going to happen a different way, like, oh, they're going to be all together again and they're going to stop it. Nope. Okay, it was very temporary. It was possibly a dream or a vision, and that's what they say it could have been or was possibly. We know the truth. And then, so they take the fight to this crazy battle world Spider-Man. And
Mad Max.
Mad Max. Actually, Mad Max, Spider-Man, as well as the Mad
Thinker.
Mad Thinker as Fantastic Four, his own Fantastic Four they made. And it was funny because they'd even mentioned, they were like, we got beat when they had no powers, and then they come back.
And they have powers.
But mind you, they pretended that they didn't have powers at first, and then it was like, well, you guys definitely have no chance now that you know they have powers, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a really great issue.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. Strong by contender for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Same here. So I'll go ahead and give this digital comic away. E for Eleuterio, J for Jones, 6, H for Hector, M for Marcos, N for Nova, B for Bones, Y for Yank, G for Gloria, A for Alvin, Z for Zach, and C for Cable.
Groovy.
Whatever. So
what's next?
Next, I'm going to get into some DC with Action Comics. I believe it's, 1003?
Something like that.
And it's Yannick Paquette, Nathan Fairbairn. So this one this one started really weird because I was like, what am I didn't even realize that I was reading a Superman comic because it was just like this girl, and then she's in this slum place, and she's getting some package from some girl in this basement of some place. Oh, and it's glowing green, and then I go, oh, now I remember what happened. She was trying to get kryptonite because she wants to do something to Superman. This reporter lady. And then she goes back to work, which is Daily Bugle. And then Clark, who's also there, he gets sick instantly. And it's funny because, what's his name? The photographer guy?
Jimmy.
Jimmy keeps on mentioning all these other times where, there was kryptonite, but, not going too deep into it. And so it's just hilarious. And I think, so he knows that that's Superman, though, right?
I guess.
I'm pretty sure he knows that, Clark is Superman, but he's just kind of, dumb. But anyways, the panels were really awesome, the way they flowed, and then Batman shows up to confiscate it. and stuff, and Smoke Monster and stuff. And yeah, it's really crazy though, because they barely mentioned the elephant that was in the room from the end of the last issue,
which was Lois, right?
Lois Lane showing up at the end, and how she's back in town, and for whatever reason she's not talking to Clark,
and she's blonde,
and yeah, she's been pretending to be blonde. And where's their son?
Yeah.
And we don't cover any of that in this issue. Instead, Lex Luthor confronts her at the end of the issue,
which is odd.
So,
and it's Bendis writing. So what do you expect?
It is Bendis writing. He's gonna stretch it out.
He likes the slow burns.
He does like the slow burn. He's really good at the slow burn. And honestly, that's the stuff that's the most interesting about this story is the relationship stuff. What's going on with the son? What's going on with the wife? You know, what is it? Yeah. Are they on the rocks? What's the problem? You know, what's going on?
Is mommy and daddy getting a divorce?
Yeah, I'm scared. Like, where's the son? Did she lose him, or she just let him go off on with the grandpa? We don't know. And I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to wait for as many issues as it takes, unless I just my crap, getting tired of it. So, but so far I'm loving it so far. It's really awesome. And I love how they constantly have like other leaguers show up, especially Batman.
Oh yeah.
So it only makes sense. They're best buds and stuff. So,
well, Bruce has got to keep busy since he's, not married.
Yeah, definitely. and Nightwing can always fill in for him.
Oh yeah.
That's to be mentioned later. But anyways, so yeah, I once again love it. Strong by contender.
Cool. What's next?
Next, let's go with Old Man Hawkeye. Number 9. It is Sax, Checheto, and Mosa. And so this one, you think it's going to be the big drag down Old Man Bullseye and Old Man Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And ends up being really just Songbird against, well, Songbird's in there. She helps, and then they make a runaway. And then Bullseye's like, oh, I get 2 Hawkeyes for the price of 1. This is getting better and better. Because even Bullseye's disappointed because he's like, oh, he's going blind. Like, I don't even get him at his best, you know?
Dude, so that church imagery was beautiful in this book.
I do wonder, it was really awesome. I do wonder who this experiment is, though, that Avalanche killed that they're creating. That's going to go after Bullseye, maybe, and Taskmaster might too. I want to see. It'll be cool seeing Taskmaster and all these other people like take him down.
Oh yeah, I give this book a strong buy. I really haven't been keeping up with it, but the art was amazing. The story style was great. The pacing was fantastic. Strong buy.
Absolutely. I mean, this is another book that's playing the slow burn, but it's totally working for it. Mostly because of the art, but still, it's totally working. I'm totally down for the next issue, and this one was fantastic. So yeah, strong buy and contender here as well. And here's the digital code. I for Icarus, J for Jones, K for Kilgrave, S for Super, 4, U for Uganda, P for Pedro, S for Super, M for Mankey, T for Tambourine, B for Bones, and O for outrageous.
Totally outrageous.
Outrageous, bro. So next we'll go with Batgirl number 27. And it is Scott Pelletier, Ratman Belair. And man, the end of the last one was crazy because like she is straight up, like they're rushing her to the hospital. She's been crippled because she got shocked before and it messed up her implant. And that's how she's been able to walk this entire time, is that implant, similar to what happened with
Felicity O'Hara.
Yes. And so it's terrifying, but it's crazy because even her, she's going like, I don't really care that I may not be able to walk again because that happened before and I dealt with it. She's like, I'm more scared because I'm losing my memory and I've always had my memory. And so she's just like losing her memory, and her dad's like, you know what, stay with me. And she's like, you know what, I'm not going to win this, so I'll just go with him. But I'm going to, tell him to piss off once I get there, and then I can go off and find this guy Grotesque. And so she thinks it was somebody before. It's actually somebody else who's pretending to be this other guy. So, and that guy's actually dead. So she's a mystery solved, but now it just brings up more questions.
Yeah, the answers bring up more questions. That's always the case with a Bat comic.
Detectives, yes, and she does don an old costume because she's at her dad's, and that's what she has there.
Is it purple?
Too. But yeah, it's pretty intense. It's pretty crazy, and she gets in the crosshairs of the Gotham PD. So I always like it when they're actually running away from the police, like the police are actually after them, and so like, they're good because it just makes their job too easy, you know. So,
what's your rating?
I liked it a lot. It was great. It looked really great, and it was fantastic. I'm really digging this title. So, strong by contender.
Sweet.
Sweetness.
What's up next?
Next is Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, number 310.
I cannot give this book enough praise.
It is Chip Zdarsky and other people. It just says Zdarsky.
Yeah. Let's just go through it and just say Zdarsky. Let's give it the short and simple version of this. Some kid is filming a documentary about how people have been saved by Spider-Man and what they think about Spider-Man and all that good stuff. That's literally what this book's about. Then we get kind of stories kind of scattered out through it. Like this one lady whose kid was like conned into robbing a store or being a lookout for a robbery. Spider-Man kind of, lets him get away and saves him, whatnot. He only got $50 out of it. He was a young 15-year-old or something like that. The robber guys go to jail. They get out on bail. They come back and kill the kid. And it tears Spidey up, man. Oh, man, that just hurt me so bad. And come to find out, Peter found out about this documentary because, well, he was interviewed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you said it best, man. Like, that part teared me up, too. That messed me up, And the thing is, like, the mom was interviewed in the video, and he was like, he's just a person who's doing his best, you know? And because he was mentoring the kid with his homework and everything. Yep. Like, he was really working with this kid, and then he found him, and, yeah, they killed him. And you're just like,
damn.
Yeah,
you're speechless.
It just makes me, it's strong by contender. I would be fine if there's just one shots like this all the time.
Yeah, for real. This was perfect.
Like, of course I love story arcs, but this is comics at its best. Strong by contender.
Yes.
I'm gonna hold on
by contender.
Till the end.
Sounds good.
Okay, next is Batman Beyond number 24. So this one is the conclusion to the whole Scarecrow thing. We have Robin. He has been messed up because now it's like it's technology that's affecting him, and so he sees them as demons too. And that girl that used to be part of the card gang, it's not affecting her either.
10.
Yeah, and so, but they find a way to block it, like, last minute and stuff, but this guy's like, you still screwed her up, and you still did this to her, and you ruin everything, Bruce, and it's just a you ruin everything, Bruce type situation.
Same old song and dance.
But the reveal was really great, and it worked really well, and it leads to more. Like, that's the thing is, she goes to Arkham, and they're like, when has Arkham ever helped him, and Bruce is like, oh, but yeah, Arkham will help him. And the guy's like, yeah, that never helps. It just makes things worse. And that's what we're about to see what comes next. Now, I like this storyline a lot. The finale was great. But I miss when it looked more like the show because I can hear the voices better.
Especially Will Friedle.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially like Bruce. The way they make him look as an old man, I just don't hear an old Kevin Conroy, yeah. So, but other than that, it looks great. So, yeah, I feel like it still deserves a strong buy.
Okay. What's up next?
Next, it is Champions number 25.
That was last week, I believe.
Is it last? Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, if you want to review it, you just can't be eligible for the best book of the week.
It is Jim Zub, Shana Zoxy, Max Dunbar, and stuff. But yeah, so this one is getting back to, though, that other thing that they had going on, which is that who is it? Nadia, which is
Ant-Man's daughter.
Yeah, Wasp and Nova, who no longer has the Nova helmet. They got sucked into this dimension with Swamp Thing, Man Thing.
Yeah.
And so that the new girl on the team, that Mystic girl from Alaska or whatever, like I think it's Alaska or something. She's like, oh, I was given this gem that's a window into the thing, so we're all gonna go. And then it turns out to be kind of like a D&D or RPG style universe going to. But it's just the beginning, so it's interesting for sure.
I wonder if it's turn-based.
No, it's not. I didn't see like numbers popping up and stuff, and they're like, oh, and then they stand around and like, but no. So I like it, but the device that they used to get there just seems odd. Like if they would have just done that's them playing this, or even if they got sucked into a video game, which I think happens in a lot of other
mediums.
Yeah, and that maybe that's why they're not doing it. I don't know, but anyways,
it's too Jumanji, I guess.
It was still enjoyable. So,
what's your rating for it?
But some of them are lost in there. Like some of them don't realize that they're in the game. They don't remember themselves, and some of them do. So that's also a little thing they're gonna have to get over.
So strong buy.
I give it a buy.
Okay.
It's great. It's just the way that they went about it. It just kind of,
yeah.
I don't know. It just died. So yeah. Okay.
Sounds good. What's next?
Next is what is next? It's Batman Detective Comics 989. And this is Robinson Segovia Plasencia, and this is more he's just doing detective work. It's the Fireflies too. Like there's a new female Firefly, and he's like, hey, every time Batman beats us, we actually learn stuff. And so that's cool. And so even though we lose, we win in the process and stuff. And he has a little chat with Jim Gordon and stuff. And of course he does find them, and he's like, oh, you guys are too obvious. It's like a kerosene place. And then Two-Face shows up. So I don't know. I'm just wondering what happened with the storyline with the team stuff.
Maybe they're taking a nap.
Are they going to get back to that, or like since it's a different creative team, it's just not.
It's on the back burner, maybe.
I mean, it feels more like a detective book now than a team book, but I don't know. So it's okay. It's not bad. It's just a different direction.
Yeah. And
I'm not used to it yet. This book has been a team book for so long. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it.
It is what it is.
It looks solid, and it's not bad. So it's worth a buy.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? That's about halfway point. So let's go ahead and talk about our sponsor for the week, which is Twin Suns.
Twin Suns.
Comics and gaming. Oh my.
Hi, Twins.
And yeah, those guys are great. In fact, they're so huge about their tabletop gaming, man. Like they're so big on that. I talked to him today and I said, hey, do you guys want me to share that stuff on our Facebook? And they're like, honestly, we're so full every time that like sometimes we have to cancel, like we have to have a cutoff point. So, but for Magic, because Magic is so huge, like their Magic tournaments they're massive. They're huge, dude. Like that is the thing is, if you're following us for Magic, you are probably already there. You know, like you're probably there right now, you know, so, or you're just there most of the time. But if you're into Magic, you need to be there because that is the place to be in Albuquerque. They're located at 6301 Riverside Plaza Northwest, Suite L1, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87120. It's across from the Flicks Brew House. I think it's La Orilla and Coors Boulevard. It's, you know, across from the Wex.
Yeah, it's right in the same parking lot.
And what's great is it's also a Poke Stop. So I have lots of friends that are gifting me. So now I feel compelled to go to more Poke Stops so that I can
get more gifts.
Yes. So I like it. It's really cool. And they know that. They know that they're a Poke Stop and stuff. And there's a lot of Poke Stops in that area too. So it's a good place to go to. They have a cool thing going on, which is they have a book that you fill out. Anything you put in there, 15% off. It goes in your box, no matter what it is. It can be a statue. It can be a shirt. It can be a graphic novel. It can be manga. It can be, I don't know about hentai, but hey, if it's in the book, it's 15% off. Even if it's hentai, whatever it is, really, it does not matter what's in the book. Whatever it is, it's going to be 15% off. So you could get a giant, like, you know, Power Rangers helmet. And that if that thing's like $300, guess what? 15% off. How much is that? You know what I mean? Like that's a good chunk. You're not going to get that good of a discount really anywhere else.
Not really.
So yeah, that's why it's good to do. And you're for sure going to get whatever you put on your order list. You fill it out monthly. You know, I always get the comics that I order. It's great. And if there's anything missing, I tell them and they get it for me. It's simple, you know. Or I can grab it off the shelf. It's fantastic. They're great guys. They're really nice guys. I always BS with them. I've been talking to them about the Spider-Man game. I even talked to them about the Tomb Raider game, which is going to be the next game I'm going to play. And they're like, it's violent. It's violent. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's fantastic.
That's what we want.
Yeah. So, but yeah, great guys to talk to, chat with, you know, and they know their stuff. When it comes to the tabletop gaming, Warhammer, you know, HeroClix, the Yu-Gi-Oh,
Star Wars miniature stuff,
everything that they have in their store, they know their stuff. Like those guys are phenomenal. So make sure you go to their shop, or you can go to their website at Twin Sons Comics. Call them if you want. That if you have a box already or something, you know, you already have something set up, or you want to set something up with them, call them 505-433-9490. Like them on Facebook because they usually post all their events on Facebook too, so you can join up there. And I think on Instagram as well. So that's another one to follow for them. So check them out.
Yeah, and if Pablo here calls it Yu-Gi-Oh again, I'm going to have to banish him to the Shadow Realm.
So anyways, I'm going to get into the rest of our books, which is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 31. And I feel like well, it's Marguerite Bonet, Simone Mayo, Walter Biamonte.
It's still a Shattered Grid, right?
It's beyond the grid now. It's beyond the grid.
Okay.
Here. That's all I have to say about that. Is it's gone. It's gone. I'm not getting this anymore. I'm not getting this title anymore.
It's that bad?
And I don't want to say I want to say the writing is bad because I feel like it's well written. The problem with it is that I think the only Ranger that's in it still is the Pink Power Ranger, which is like, but it's the messed up version one. That's like she's not evil, but like she's just the messed up future version of Kimberly, right?
She's not happy.
And so she's badass, but like that's it. And she's not the main character. She's not the main focus. Everybody else's characters that I don't know who they are. They're from other Rangers. So it's all these broken Ranger forces, and it's this broken grid business going on. And it looks phenomenal. And but it just, I don't care because guess what it's called?
Mighty Morphing Power Rangers.
And guess what it doesn't have?
But the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
And guess why I'm not going to read it anymore?
Because it doesn't have the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers as advertised.
Exactly. So I'm done. I'm not reading it anymore. And you know, it was going this direction, even with the whole Morphin grid and all these other teams going in. And I'm like, I don't care about any of these teams. It's not my Morphin Power Rangers anymore. It's something else. It's all the Power Rangers. It's just this huge mess. And I don't want to read anymore because I don't care about any of these other Power Rangers because I didn't watch them and I don't care about them. I just want my Power Rangers. So I'll keep Go-Go Power Rangers because they're similar enough to my Power Rangers, but not this one.
So we're going to create a new grading scale for canceled.
So canceled. Yeah, it's a pass. Well, and that's the thing is it looks great. It's not even badly written. It's just the direction that it's gone. It's not what it says it is. And that's it. So it's not for me anymore. If it's for you and you like that stuff, you like the other teams, you watch the other teams, then you know what? Maybe you love it and you enjoy it. That's fine. I don't care. I'm not knocking on you. I'm not knocking on that opinion. Go ahead and watch it, read it, whatever, but I'm not going to. It's not for me.
And if you do read this book, please post a honest review in the group, in the Facebook group. More than welcome to do so. Because, I mean, again, I know Pablo didn't watch any of the other teams. I didn't watch any other teams, but that doesn't speak for the whole group, So welcome another reviewer if they'd like to have at it.
Absolutely. More opinions are always better, and yours is not wrong. So let's just move on. Let's see. Do I have any more? Yeah, I do. Yeah, there's quite a few. There's Flash 56 is next, and that is Williamson, Collins, Guerrero. And so this one is it's kind of like a Halloween issue. It's kind of cool. He's dealing with Solomon Grundy, blows him to bits with his powers. It's pretty sweet. A little gruesome. And then something happens to who's the fire guy?
Firestorm?
Rory.
Oh, Heatwave.
Heatwave, yeah, Heatwave. I always forget, I know his name because he's in the Legends of Tomorrow, but he doesn't even go by Heatwave in.
He goes by Mick.
Yeah, and so something happens to him, and it's one of the which one is like the Still Force, and I'm like, I don't think it's the Still Force, but then people are having all these weird visions, and they're like, so he's part of the Sage Force now? I don't know, it's weird. And it's just it's just really confusing, but it seemed like a really good Halloween issue, and I liked that about it because I love Halloween, and I love Halloween issues, especially when they just go hey, it's Halloween month, we're just going to make this issue about Halloween, or this arc about Halloween. So that's cool, but overall, the art and the story, I mean, the art's pretty solid, but the whole thing entirely was just really confusing to me.
Yeah.
I hope that's clarified in the next issue. I don't know if it will be, so I can't give this the highest marks, even though it definitely gives brownie points for being a Halloween issue, and stuff. And it is spooky. It's not as dark as I want it to be, considering, but it is pretty cool. So I wanna give it a strong buy. Definitely can't give it a contender. Okay.
Groovy. What's up next?
Let's see. What is next? Punisher #2. And man, I this book is so intense. It's Matthew Rosenberg, Simon Kodransky, Fabella. And so he just there's these two Hydra agents meeting out in the open. They're like, yeah, I didn't get followed. And then there's someone even in the crowd hey, aren't you that guy that killed Mandarin? And then he just cuts this dude's hand off. And then he cuts his freaking head off. And you're like
how Zemo is kind of just, sitting around in the party and nobody cares because it's a Halloween party.
Oh, well, yeah. And he's like, hey, I've called this group together because I want you guys to go kill Frank Castle because he's coming after him, essentially. And then all these heroes are stopping him too, the heroes for hire, essentially.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool. I just love how he keeps people off. Even Murdoch shows up, and
so basically it's the Defenders.
Yeah, it just keeps getting more and more intense and upping the stakes. And we're on issue 2, and I'm like, shouldn't this be like at the end of a story arc? But I love it. It's so great. It's so good.
Intense.
It is, and the art looks so amazing.
Oh, yes.
It is. It's freaking insane. It's really well done. This guy's knocking it out of the park. This whole team is.
Yes.
It's a strong buy and a contender without a doubt.
I'll agree with that. Strong buy contender for me.
I'm gonna hold on to this digital code until the end. Let's see. Next is Heroes in Crisis.
Yes, I've heard a lot about this. I wanted to read it so bad.
King, Man, and Murray. And so it's really crazy because you have Booster Gold. He's like getting food in this place out in the middle of nowhere in the country. And Harley shows up and she seems like fine. And then she goes nuts on him and attacks him. And all the while, like, there's these interviews of these characters essentially that have had trauma of their, and they're heroes, but they've had trauma in their lives. And Superman and all these other people are going back to essentially, it looks like his home. And they call it the Sanctuary.
Sanctuary, yeah.
There's all these bodies of all these heroes. And you're like, whoa, what the hell is going on? But they're not like big heroes or well-known heroes, but they do, like I said, they interview them, so they establish it. You know, and then it gets down to Booster Gold, and he's the only one alive, and he's talking about like how messed up, you know, he is, but he's kind of just playing it cool and stuff, and it's just nuts. And so yeah, they're definitely making it seem like
Booster Gold killed them all.
Booster Gold killed them. We don't know if he did or not, but we do. If you read what had been going on in the Batman comics with him and how he was like had that alternate timeline where he went crazy and stuff, like you go, okay, this is definitely a possibility.
What you think about it?
It looks great and it's really interesting. It's a great hook. It's just, it's not much to go off of yet. But for what it is, strong by contender. Hooked me. I'm in it. I'm in it to continue reading. That's for sure. I want to know what's going on, what's happening, especially considering all the bodies that are lying around. I'm like, all those people are dead? I don't think all those.
Dude, Wally and freaking Arsenal are dead.
It's Wally. I mean, I'm like, Wally and Arsenal? I don't think so.
They're in that image. They're there. They're dead.
I know they're there, but I don't believe it entirely yet. We'll see. This could be another alternate timeline type thing. You don't know.
Yeah, Booster Gold's involved.
Yeah. So, let's see. So yeah, strong buy. That's a strong buy and a contender. I can definitely give it that.
All right.
Cool. Next is Amazing Spider-Man number
6. Come on, no, not Domino.
And what is it? Nick Spencer, Ramos, Olazaba, same creative team.
Delgado, yeah.
Yeah. Victor grabs somebody, and Taskmaster, and
all right, let's just give this the short version. All right, we have Boomerang moving in with Peter. Peter's making out with Mary Jane. You know, it seems like Boomerang's trying to go straight, whatnot. And he's like talking mad crap, going say, hey, when I fought Spider-Man and he had Captain Universe powers, and Peter's like, nah, you didn't do that. That's a bunch of crap. I know more about Spider-Man than Spider-Man does about himself. I used to be his photographer, and I hired him as a bodyguard. And Boomerang was like, really? All right, come with me. All right, so he goes down to the bar that has no name, and they play Spider-Man trivia. And guess who wins? Oh, of course, Spider-Man, Peter Parker. He gets a perfect score against the living brain. So, yeah, and at the end of it all, Kingpin kind of sends out a hit on Boomerang. That's pretty cut and dry. Yeah,
and it was really, really great. It was cool. It was neat how Peter Parker was like, hey, it's cool to see this other side of all these guys, you know, like they're just
not so bad.
And they're in costume, and it's just a together hanging out buddies party, you know. And it won him rent money and stuff too. So he's like, hey, sounds good. Yeah. And
they call him the liar.
Yeah. So but yeah, it's a great issue. It really is solid. Great setup. This is a great jumping on point. That's another great thing to mention. Great jumping on point. So strong buy, contender.
Strong buy contender for me.
Here's a digital code. T for Thomas, 19, D for Delta, 7, Q for Quill, O for Oscar, F for Fantastic, V for Villain, 8, U for Ultron, 7. Let's see what's next. I have Justice League Odyssey #1, and this one's weird because, well, it's Williamson and Sejic, and art mind-blowing because it is Stepan Sejic. It is just, what's her name, though? Jessica Cruz, and she's just patrolling this area that there's nobody, and she's, making sure nobody goes into this ghost world. And then all of a sudden in a Brainiac vehicle, Cyborg, along with Starfire and Azrael show up in that thing, and they're like, hey, we need to go in there because there's something that's calling us in there, and we have to figure out what it is, the source wall, all that stuff. She joins them, and then like this giant thing attacks them and is trying to suck them in, and yeah, they crash land and land on this planet, and and then there's this like young Darkseid there, and that's essentially it. It looks phenomenal. I'm not really sure where it's going. It doesn't really feel established yet, like what it's going for necessarily. At least like with Justice League Dark, you could tell they're going like, hey, magic strongly, like from issue 1. This one, I'm like, I thought like maybe like science or like what, like, but I don't know what it is. Science. I believe it's science. So I don't know where it's going. It's interesting though, and it looks phenomenal. So I always give the 2-issue try for like something new, and if it keeps me going, then it keeps me going, and then so we'll see. Like I said, it looks phenomenal. Because it's not firmly established, I want to give it a strong buy, but I can't give it a contender. Cool.
That sounds pretty good. What is next?
Have Venom First Host #5.
Yes.
Mike Costa writer, Mark Bagley, Paco Diaz, Hennessy Diaz. And so this one is the end of this story arc, and I think it's the end of just this thing going on.
And he saves the skull. Okay, they try and blow up the Kree. They go back to New York, and Eddie's like, "Yeah, I got this. Cool. I saved the little kid, Silvio. I'm gonna put him in a little cage. Cool. And then the Kree warrior shows back up, and he tries to kill the Spawn, and the symbiote gets in the way and gets kind of injured at the time. Eddie himself knocks the crap out of the Kree warrior, knocks him out the window, and beats the ever-living crap out of him with stuff in the street, like a car hits him. He's like, hey, this is my city. It's New York. Go to hell. Beats him with trash cans. I mean, just straight whooping him without a suit. And then all of a sudden, the offspring of the symbiote starts attacking the Kree warrior, lobotomizes him, makes him brain dead, and then starts wearing him as a suit. That's about it. That's kind of how that worked.
Yeah. To me, the best part was, though, that this guy, this Kree warrior had thought he had, like, completed this mission, and then he goes to the Kree, and then they're like, you know what? You're not only obsolete, but, like, we don't have anything to do with war anymore. We don't want to have to do anything with war anymore because it's the reason that we no longer have Hala, right? And so their home planet has been destroyed. They're like, we don't want to be part of war because this is what it's led to. So they destroy his ship. And so you think, oh, he's dead. Well, he re-engineered, bioengineered that thing that was made to destroy the Skrulls to destroy humans. And so, yeah, that's what, and then that was the whole them stopping it. And yeah, it was really awesome. And it's really cool. And it's really great.
The little part with Harry and Eddie was pretty good too.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. So I give it a strong buy. I thought it was really well done, and this was a great story arc. So yeah, strong buy contender.
I'll give it a strong buy contender. I thought it was great. The art style was amazing. The story was fantastic. I mean, I'm liking this.
Top notch. Here's the digital code. It's O for Oscar, K for Kill, 478, U for Ugly, J for Jack, Z for Zarbon, O for Oscar, 4, J for Jack. And that is it for this week.
Actually, I have 2 more books that are kind of coinciding with each other. I have The Edge of Spider-Geddon, number 4. This is it's like Cooter, Robson, Young, and Mosa. It's a four-armed Spider-Man and a Goblin kind of going off each other. They kind of beating the crap out of each other, more or less. It seems like Harry is not the bad guy here. Yeah, Harry seems like the good guy in this whole thing. And then he remembers Pete, and he does everything for Pete because evidently Pete's dead in this universe. And all of a sudden, the Spider-Punk, which is Hobie, pulls the evil Spider-Man back. And that's to be continued in Spider-Geddon. Okay, this issue is a lead up. I'll give it a week buy. I mean, it really didn't have too much of a good vibe for me. I mean, it just didn't fit right for some reason. Moving on to Spider-Geddon 0 is what it is. We have the Marvel's Spider-Man from the PlayStation 4 game as the main character of this book. So we have the superior Spider-Man coming into his universe. And he's like, hey, guys, we have Moreland here and all these, people, vampires trying to kill all the Spider-Man. We need your help. And then, Tarantula is the enemy in this. And this is after the events of the game, of course. So Tarantula escapes. Superior Spider-Man and, Peter Spider-Man, whatever. They talk with each other, get to know each other a little bit better. And Superior's like, okay, well, I'll help you out. And they eventually end up helping each other out. And then right before Peter leaves, he goes and says, hey, I need to talk to somebody. He gets Miles to fill in for him because Miles is fairly new. Octavius is like, no, why don't we get him to come along? He's like, no, he's too young. He's too fresh behind the ears. And, of course, Peter makes out with Mary Jane before he, leaves. And then that's where this ends. This is a strong buy. This is a contender. This is a great introduction of this version of Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse properly.
Awesome. So you would say the 0 definitely worth getting.
Definitely worth getting for the 0.
Okay, the other one I can pass on though, right?
Absolutely.
Now, did you read the one before that? Was it number 4?
Yeah, the one I read today. Today was number 4. The number 3, I did catch that. I've been catching them all for the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I've been missing them just because if there's any books that I don't cover, it's mostly because I didn't find them on the shelves. Also, I'm like 2 weeks behind, so it's kind of a mess too because I was sick, so I wasn't able to go in for like 2 weeks. Or no, it was just 1 week, but still, it made me like 2 weeks behind. But yeah, okay, cool. So that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, awesome. Then it is time for us to announce our runner-up and B-Bow. You know what yours is?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to give that Spider-Geddon 0 my runner-up. Amazing book, amazing book. My B-Bow is The Spectacular Spider-Man. That documentary story was just, it was so amazing. It brought me to tears. It literally brought me to tears. And that's tough to do reading a book. So, yeah. Very, very good book. Very impressed.
You know what? Honestly, I completely spaced this out, but I actually have like 3 more books from DC, which is Silencer number 9. And that is split with, well, it's weird because so they did like this body switching thing in this one, and it happened at the end of the last one. And so now these 2 people have their body switched. And so they're like, they end up joining up because they're like, hey, don't destroy my body. I want to destroy your body. Let's team up and take down this lady that switched our bodies and stuff. And she's the only one that's still allied with Talia al Ghul. And because we both want the same thing, we want to destroy the pits so she can't come back to life anyways. And then there's she brings this like giant kaiju monster to destroy the amusement park where her family is. So that one was okay. And so that one is a buy. And then there was Titans number 26, and that's Abnett, People, Santorelli. And so for this one, they're now in some place where it's snow, and they're like, oh yeah, the energy is strong there, but now they know their specific goal, which is they teamed up with this. They got this one guy to help them to like absorb the magic so that it weakens whoever's using it or is affected by it, but it doesn't work out. And so like McGann, she almost like loses control and like reveals like her white Martian to everybody. But one of the person on the team saw it, and he's like, oh, I'll keep your secret. But like this one, it has to do with the Blood gang or whatever.
Brother Blood.
Yeah, that whole crew. And so I just don't know why they're not dealing with Raven thing and helping her get her powers back. That's I thought like that would be the immediate.
Yeah, really.
To deal with, right?
Let's help out our heavy hitter, really.
Yeah, like, well, they say McGann is their biggest heavy hitter, but like I would say they're second. Yeah, so that doesn't make sense to me, but it was still a pretty solid issue. Not the best. It's one I can give it a buy. Oh, and then I forgot Doomsday Clock number 12. And so this one was a huge, because this one actually led to the appearance of Dr. Manhattan. And it was great. It was a great appearance. Oh, you have these worlds clashing of the Watchmen and DC. You have Joker and, you know, comedian, and it's just so great the way it happens and how they make it work. Everything works fantastically, and then what it's just, you're like,
Ozymandias is still Ozymandias. He's the exact same character he was at the beginning of the Watchmen series. He's still a complete dick. He's still a manipulator. Yeah, that's Ozymandias for you.
So yeah, that's essentially it. Yeah, he's just being crazy him. It was really great issue. I give it a strong buy and a contender. I can't wait to pick it up and trade.
That's what I'm waiting for, really.
So yeah, that's now. With that being said, I will go into my.
That still doesn't change my vote at all. I'm still going to go with the Spider-Man number 0, and the Spectacular Spider-Man is my B-bow.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's cool. Man, that Doomsday Clock was so good. But you know what? I'm going to have to go with Punisher number 2 as my runner-up.
Okay.
Phenomenal book. And I'll go ahead and give the digital code away for that. Which is B for Bones 0, and for Nova, O for Oscar, 7, S for Super, and for Nova, and H for Hector, and for Marvel, and for Nova, 3. Yeah, it was just too cool, man. That Punisher was just like grotesque, cutting hands off and heads off, and
it was brutal.
He's like, why are you guys coming after me? And they're like, you just killed 2 guys today in freaking Times Square, so you know. And and then like he just keeps like these guys distracted and stuff so well. But we both know what the back and bag of the week is, right?
Yeah, that Spectacular Spider-Man is dope.
Spectacular Spider-Man, which this, along with another title, Venom, First Host, those are done. Now this will continue on in Spider-Geddon, but I don't think it's going to continue anymore. I think Chip Zdarsky is done with this run, from what I understand at the end of this, what he talked about. And so now the only like main title is going to be Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah, which is going great.
Oh yeah.
So, but this was the best this week, and I'll give it away.
Give it away now.
I just knew you were going to do that. I know you're going to go there. I just.
What I got, you got to get it in comics.
All right, here it is. E for Elon. W for Wesker. P for Punisher. T for Thomas. I for Icarus 4. T for Thomas. V for Vegeta 1. I for Icarus. E for Elon. And E for Elon, who is apparently the next. He's going to be Green Goblin, according to the memes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's it. Thank you for watching. I know we had some difficulties before. I'm sorry about that. Not my fault. Crap internet. Blame CenturyLink. Send them an email. Mention them on Twitter about how much they suck. And that is it for us. So
we're gonna try and do a talking nerdy sometime this weekend because well, we kind of want to get stuff together to talk about. So.
Yeah, well, of course, there's the new video games, and then Venom comes out soon. There's already been a lot of bad things heard, but when people, I want to hear what people, not just reviewers, but people, you know, I want to see from that as well as other things. Gifted is out, so we can talk about that because I've been watching. I watched Gifted. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it.
Yeah, there's 2 episodes of season 2 out.
Iron Fist season 2, I finished that, so we can talk about that as well.
Cool.
Let's see.
Of course, we're going to talk about Spider-Man PS4.
Yes, of course. And there's so many games. We're going to
the games of the month.
Shows, movies. I've been watching all kinds of movies, like I said, because me and the wife have been sick, so we've been watching a lot of movies together, and everything like that. And hopefully, I can play some Tomb Raider, and I can chat about that a little bit.
Hey, you never know. Maybe we'll both download Friday the 13th and get a big old party going and live stream it. We never know.
So, yeah, that would be cool. That would be fun. So, you can find all of our stuff at TNTMTheShow. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, all that. You know, make sure you go to our YouTube. Give us a sub. You know, give us a like.
Leave a comment.
How we're doing. If you want to see something new, you want to see something different, you don't want to see.
I think I might have lost Pablo there. Pablo, do you hear me, bud? Senor Gunner. So, yeah, I'm not sure if it's recording on my end or if it's recording on his end. But, yeah, all our stuff's at TNT on the show. Facebook, Twitter, you know, YouTube, you know, Hotmail, Gmail, whatever. It's all TNT on the show. Hit us up. Let us know what's going on. Give us some feedback. Custom CenturyLink for Pablo's connection and whatnot. And, yeah. Other than that, talk nerdy to us. We'll talk nerdy to you. And keep your eyes hungry for comics.